Okay, so a couple of things. First off, I'm about halfway through just polishing this plate, and I just wanted to show you how it's coming out. So I'm using this metal polish. I bought this years and years ago. Oh, I don't even know when, somewhere in the 90s. But it's Autosol. I know I got it curled up, but it's Autosol, Autosol. And it's just a metal polish. But there's all kinds of metal polishes on the market now. Just comes out in a paste, just like toothpaste. Just put a little bit on your piece, and you get a clean piece of cloth. I mean, this is the end off an old sock. And you just start polishing in circles. And I just do in small circles and put a bit of pressure down on the plate. And you can see the corrosion that's been picked up by the Autosol. So this is what it looks like now, and I'm just going to wipe off the polish and we'll see how it looks, and if I want to keep going, do some more and polish it up a little brighter. And this is just to bring up a bit of shine. If I really wanted to get this aluminum polishes up really nice if you use a polishing wheel, and I've got polishing wheels with different grades of polish, you know, white and brown and red polish and jeweler's rouge. And you can get, and I have gotten on different motorcycles, done the engine cases and that sort of thing. I've gotten them so they're just like chrome. They're, you know, you can literally see your face in them easily. And even before I wipe this off, I can see that this is going to be much brighter than this side. So I think that's all I'm going to need to do. I don't really want to get the parts on this bike up to a chrome finish, but I do want to kind of bring them back. It was I mean, when I bought it brand new, it was a lot shinier. So let's get this off here and see. Let's see how I did with a little bit of rubbing. Oh, probably 5 minutes is all this was. I didn't put a lot into it yet. And oh yeah, it's a lot smoother for sure. Yeah. I mean, when you see the line pretty well down the center, you can see how, yeah, there's a bit of a reflection here, but there's really a lot of reflection here. You can really see, I can really see what's, see, if I move my hand back and forth, you can really see the reflection of my hand in this quite easily. So I'm going to carry on and just finish off the rest of this plate, and that'll come up really nice. But yeah, anything like this, it's so simple to do, and it just gives a nice little finish. And the nice thing, the reason I bought this years and years ago, and was using it on my old Yamaha 1100 when I had that. And you know, I just touch up the cases. I'd taken the cases off and polished them all up, but then it's bare aluminum, and I never bothered clear coating again because I found the clear coat would flake off after a while, and I just didn't like clear coating it. It was much easier at every 1 or 2 years to just take a little bit of this and just polish them by hand while it sat on the bike, and that brought the shine back out. But anyway, so that's the polish. There was one other thing that I forgot to mention that I wanted to talk about with regards to these cams here that go through the plate and act on the brake shoes. On the end of these, there's a very small dot punched in there, and it's probably, I don't know if you can see it in there or not, but there's just a really small little, very tiny little dot punched in there. And if you look at the arm, the outside actuating arm here, there's also a dot there. So those two dots line up. When you put this guy through, just like timing marks, you line those two dots up, the dot here and the dot here, and that's how you know which way that you got it right inside the bike. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put these guys in. I'm gonna line those up, and we'll see how it works if I need to move one up or down or the other or not. And I think I do. I still think I need to squeeze them, bring them a little closer together using the trunnion here. But one thing I did notice when I was cleaning out the splines on these guys, because I took the wire wheel to that, and you can see that cleaned up really nice, and I cleaned the splines up very nicely. So there's no dirt, no debris inside there. They'll take the lubricant very nicely. But one thing that I noticed when I just test fitted them was that this upper one is just a hair smaller. And I found that out because I was using my battery post brush to just go inside there and just kind of move back and forth and remove any debris that I hadn't washed out with the paint thinner in my brush when I was washing it. And I noticed that going into this hole was very easy. It fit in there nicely. This one I really had to push in. So there's no doubt that this hole is smaller than this hole. Just a little bit, but it doesn't take much, right? So that's why that one gave me so much grief getting it off of this thing when I was removing it. So hopefully, I mean, I got it as clean as I can. There's nothing else I can do about it. They are machined in, and there's nothing I can do about it. I know they fit because it was on there before, but right now what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of grease on and just gently tap it around, almost like putting in a bearing when you put it on when I go to reinstall it. And you know, I'll get it back on, but I'm just going to take my time. I don't want to damage the splines. I want it to go on properly, but yeah, there you go. A little bit of the Indian quality control. I didn't make the holes exactly the same size. Oh well, it is what it is.